Right now, the entire digital world hangs by a thread beneath the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. If these hidden, gargantuan concrete slabs shift even an inch, your bank accounts, communications, and the global economy vanish instantly. Not metaphorically, literally. 95% of international data does not travel through satellites. It travels through cables. Cables thinner than a garden hose, resting in darkness, under miles of seawater. This is the brutalest mystery keeping our civilization from a total dark age. And almost no one ever thinks about it. You are watching this video because of a cable. When you send a message, stream a movie, or check your bank balance, your data does not float in the air. It plunges into the ground, then into the sea, then across continents. The global internet feels wireless, but it is profoundly physical. It is steel, glass, concrete, and geography. Hidden beneath city streets and ocean trenches is a planetary nervous system. A network of fiber optic cables stretching over 1.4 million kilometers. Long enough to circle Earth more than 30 times. You already know the internet, but you don't know the object holding it together. The underground and undersea cable. The story begins not with Wi-Fi, but with silence. In the early 1800s, messages traveled at the speed of ships. Weeks across the Atlantic. Empires governed slowly. Wars were decided before news arrived. Then came the telegraph. Electric pulses sent through copper wire. Instant communication across land. But oceans were a problem. In 1858, engineers attempted something audacious. They laid a cable across the Atlantic Ocean. It was wrapped in gutta percha insulation, armored in iron wire, and lowered into abyssal darkness. Queen Victoria sent the first transatlantic message to President James Buchanan. It took 16 hours to transmit 99 words. And then the cable failed. The pressure crushed it. The insulation degraded. The signal faded. But the idea survived. By 1866, a more robust cable succeeded. Messages that once took weeks now took minutes. The world shrank. Finance accelerated. Empires tightened control. The first global network had begun. Not digital, but electrical. And it lived underwater. For a century, submarine cables carried telegraph and telephone signals. Copper cores, repeaters to boost signals, heavy armor near shorelines, light protection in deep water. But the real revolution came in the 1970s. Fiber optics. Instead of electricity, data became light. Thin strands of ultra-pure glass. Thinner than a human hair. Lasers pulse through them, bouncing internally through total internal reflection, carrying terabits per second. A single modern submarine cable can handle millions of Zoom calls simultaneously. Inside each cable, steel strength members, copper conductors for power, polyethylene insulation, water-blocking gel, and at the center, glass, fragile, precise, unforgiving. These cables lie on the seabed. In shallow waters, they are buried under sediment using specialized plows. In deep ocean trenches, they simply rest, unseen, unprotected, except by depth. And here's the unsettling part. These cables are not owned by governments alone. They are owned by corporations, tech giants, consortia, private infrastructure funds. The physical backbone of your digital life is privately maintained. We call it the cloud, as if data floats, as if it evaporates. But there is no cloud. There are landing stations, concrete bunkers on coastlines, highly secure facilities where submarine cables emerge from the sea. From there, data travels through terrestrial fiber buried beneath highways and rail lines. The internet is a geography. Stock markets rely on milliseconds of latency between New York and London. A faster cable route can generate billions in arbitrage. When a cable between Asia and Europe is damaged, financial markets tremble. Entire countries slow down. In 2008, Multiple cables near Egypt were accidentally severed. Internet speeds across the Middle East and India plummeted. Outsourcing firms halted. Communications froze. A ship's anchor, a simple drag across the seabed, nearly disconnected millions. Civilization is not wireless. It is tethered. Every year, around 100 to 200 submarine cable faults occur globally. Most are accidental. Fishing trawlers, anchors, earthquakes, but not all. There are growing fears of sabotage. Geopolitical tensions have turned cables into strategic assets. Navies map them. Spy agencies monitor landing stations. In wartime, cutting cables is a known tactic. During World War I, Britain severed Germany's transatlantic cables. Information dominance began with scissors. Today, nations quietly patrol cable routes. Because sever enough connections, and a country goes dark. Another hidden truth: sharks bite them. In the early days of fiber optics, sharks were attracted to electromagnetic emissions. They gnawed at cables. Engineers responded by reinforcing armor. But the myth persists. The internet attacked by marine life. Yet the real vulnerability is concentration. Major choke points like the Suez Canal, the Strait of Malacca, and the Red Sea. One regional conflict, one major seismic event, and multiple continents feel the shock. The system works, but it is not invincible. Outer polyethylene jacket, mylar tape, steel wire armor, aluminum water barrier, copper conductor, petroleum jelly insulation, fiber optic core. Each cable costs hundreds of millions of dollars. Specialized ships lay them carefully along pre-mapped routes. The process can take months. Robotic vehicles repair breaks by hauling segments to the surface. Splicing glass fibers with microscopic precision. A single faulty splice. And light scatters. Data dies. This is surgery at sea. Imagine explaining to someone in 1850 that one day the entire global economy would depend on glass threads resting on the ocean floor. They would call it fantasy. Yet here we are. In the past decade, technology companies have accelerated cable construction. Giants like Google, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft now invest billions in private routes. Why this massive investment? The answer lies in control, speed, and redundancy. Owning these cables means controlling latency, bandwidth, and critical resilience. The internet is no longer just communication. It is fundamental infrastructure. Much like our highways or vast electricity grids, it powers our modern world. And whoever builds these digital roads ultimately controls the traffic. Today, over 500 active submarine cables crisscross our planet. Many more are planned, some designed to bypass geopolitical choke points. Others are built purely for faster stock trades, shaving milliseconds off transactions. And some connect remote nations, bringing previously isolated communities online. Each new line redraws the invisible map of global power. On the surface, the ocean looks empty, peaceful, endless. Beneath it lies a lattice of glass and steel, silent, carrying the weight of civilization. The cables are rarely noticed. There are no monuments, no public ceremonies, no tourist attractions. Just small warning signs on beaches. Do not anchor. Beneath you lies the internet. The brutalist simplicity is unsettling. No satellites. No hovering networks. Just cables. Threads in darkness. We imagine modern life as digital, abstract, weightless. But it is grounded, literally. The internet is not magic. It is infrastructure. And infrastructure is vulnerable. Every message you send travels through a physical path, through glass thinner than a strand of hair, across tectonic plates, past fishing trawlers, through geopolitical tension. The next time your connection slows, remember, it may not be your router. It may be a ship dragging anchor thousands of miles away. Civilization rests not on clouds, but on cables, fragile, buried, essential. If this changed the way you see the internet, subscribe for more hidden histories. Like the video to support the channel. And tell us in the comments, what everyday object should we uncover next? You already know the object. You don't know the story. Subscribe to Object Lore for more hidden histories hiding in plain sight.